Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 3 with me, Bragaton. Let's go grab Will and Karlach, because both their quests take them here. We'll leave Halsin and Jaheira behind.
Me.
Have a lot on my mind. Well, in it.
I need healing. There.
One day I'll catch a break. I'm done. I can't wait to sleep.
That helped.
I do hate to leave Jaheira behind, but I can't leave my cleric behind.
Yes? You're sure? Oh, back and forth. You're like to make me dizzy. Speak. You're sure? Later, then. I tell you not to get in trouble, but I suspect it will find you whether you like it or not.
What's on your mind? Fuck yes.
And we have her a new pair of boots. The bone spike boots.
Should mind my step. Oakfather preserve you. Wherever you need me. I'll be right here in camp. Take care out there.
Always good to talk, my friend.
Actually, before we do that...
Oakfather preserve you. Then you'll have me. Lead on.
Did I ever use Hero's Feast? Did use at that spell slot to heal him, though. Okay,
Time to
well,
rest.
fair enough.
Oakfather preserve you. Wherever you need me. I'll be right here in camp. Take care out there.
Always good to talk, my friend. That's the spirit.
This might be better.
Defender of the people. What to do?
Alright, we should be all set. Do want to heal up Shadowheart a little more in case we come across more trouble. And double check what quests are here. Yeah, okay. I'm a little tempted to travel back to this waypoint and just go ahead and fight all those flaming fists. Well, I was trying to avoid fighting them since the temporarily hostile isn't truly temporary. It's kind of turned into one of those situations you see where the protagonist group goes up against the local law enforcement. A pretty common trope in movies and TV shows. Either because the protagonist group has been framed or the local law enforcement is corrupt. Which in this case is a little bit of both. I really want to waste Misty Step, but it's alright.
Looking ahead. Light on my feet.
Some dead ballast up top. Some infighting between our enemies, which is great for us. The only downside is potential missed experience. So I heard the clanking of a steel watcher somewhere.
That might be worth a look.
Well, that's definitely trapped.
Let's get going.
I'm not sure who my best bet is, but we'll go with Will. Because he was the last one I had selected. He's tied for a highest dexterity in this current party. Which isn't saying a lot. Of course.
What path lies before me? Trap. Be cautious.
That's alright, it's waiting for us back at camp, so it's not going anywhere. Oh, battle crates.
Step carefully. There's a trap.
At least things have stayed interesting. An illusion. Someone's hiding something.
Huh, that's why you check every nook and cranny. Really thought this was just going to be a dead end, but goes back to camp. A stashed note. Oh, whoops, didn't mean to send that to camp. Hopefully it's not important for our business here. That takes us back down. We don't want to go downstairs because there's enemies down there. Maybe not enemies, but some hostile non-friendlies. There's a pixel here somewhere.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Alright, Grand Duke Elton.
Founder of the Flaming Fist. Later history is kinder to him than accounts from his time, which portray him as a cruel and hard-handed mercenary commander.
Dame Amafrey Ephemial.
Dame Amafrey, the orphan's friend, founded several orphanages in the outer city, as the lower city was no place for children, and the upper city declined to sponsor an orphanage.
The Cockeyed Stranger.
This is a bust of the god Bane as he first appeared to Gortash in dreams, and was then described to a Rivington sculptor.
Magnate Carrick Ilfescient?
Carrick started from nothing, built a financial empire and founded the counting house. He refused to mingle with the other patriarchs, saying, "They didn't want me when I was an urchin, and now they can't have me."
Commodore Morgan Redlocks.
Baldur's Gate ship captain Morgan Redlocks wed a man thrice her age. After the wedding, the groom suffered a heart attack. Redlocks converted his merchant ships into a pirate fleet.
Baron Alec Bormel.
First of the Bormal Patriarch family to start his own venture, Alec is the unscrupulous bastard who made their fortune in mines and vineyards.
Well, let's pillage the place. Receipt for painting. Recent receipt, fee paid for a full-length portrait of the god Bane, with a side note in Gortash's precise handwriting. Now he is doubly immortal. Incineration caster. Valarkin's failed coup. A summary of Valarkin's failed attempt to become the sole ruler of Baldur's Gate. This is a popular history account of Grand Duke Valarkin's attempt to usurp the power of Baldur's Gate's Council of Four, in which he staged a failed coup backed by a cult of lycanthropes called the Band of the Red Moon. There are several notes in the margins in Gortash's precise handwriting, with the following scrawled in the end paper. 2 lessons. First, assassination alone isn't enough. And second, Duke Dillard Porter lived through this, so don't underestimate him. Mycomodron Force Curtain. All sorts of devices on the walls. Alright, political influence. Well, let's loot this first. Political Influence Plan, or PIP. Parliamentary Action Plan, current 10-day. Concentrate efforts on the following patriarchs as noted below. 1. Duke Dillard Porter. Though Dillard Porter sits on the Ducal Council, he can make a poor puppet, as his wits are failing and his will is weak. He is, however, a coward, so direct threats should suffice to persuade him to resign his council seat in favor of his niece, Liara Porter. Once tadpoled, Blaze Liara will be a powerful addition to our roster of patriarchs. 2. Lord Raylan Janeth. The Janeth family's mining interests make Lord Raylan a primary target of Bay Knight capture. Raylan is foolishly proud, as by conducting an affair with the Rent Goblin and the Little Kalimshan, which makes him vulnerable to blackmail, as he will do almost anything to avoid exposure. Instruct Edvard Needle to publish an article with hints about the affair that will be meaningful to Raylan, then leave a much more detailed anonymous note in his upper city bedroom. That should make him pliable. Lady Ruth Linacker, who's not numbered. Our sources indicate the Linackers have recently received windfall payments from their Tetherian gem mines. Cash that we could use better than they will. Abduct Lady Ruth's granddaughter, Fariza Linacker, and hold her in the upper city safe house until her grandmother meets our ransom demands. See to this immediately, Lord Gortash. Populism and propaganda. A report to Lord Gortash from the Black Hand of Loyalty. 24 key populist slogans were tested with a cross-section of Baldurians. The following slogans scored highest at translating into support for the transfer of authority. Secure homes and streets for citizens. Baldurians responded positively to security for themselves, especially if it could be paid for by levies on non-citizens. Housing and prosperity for those who deserve it. There was strong agreement with the proposition that those who work hard have the right to live well. Who we are is what we are. Strangers out. A plurality was strongly vocal about the need to reject and eject non-Baldurians. Citizens before patriarchs, fair is fair. The nobility is broadly unpopular, and there is general agreement that inherited wealth should be widely redistributed. Articles and editorials propounding these concepts will be conveyed to Edvard Needle for placement in the mouth. Journal of Enver Gortash. I knew it would be risky to give one of the netherstones to that loose catapult Orin. When I look in her eyes, I feel something, but I'm not sure what to call it. And after all, what's the point of a grand alliance if the dead three without Old Ball? I thought I could depend on that age-stumped Ketheric. However, it never even occurred to me he could be brought down by a random collection of shabby adventurers. Obviously, possession of the weapon was the key element. But do the vagabonds possess the weapon, or does the weapon possess them? It's just as the great sages say, a plan will take you only so far, then you have to fall back on principles. And inasmuch as control is the guiding principle of the committed Banite, it's axiomatic that I must be in control of all three netherstones. The solution is obvious. Pit the vagabonds against a loose catapult, and once they bring me the other two netherstones, we'll find suitable positions for them in the new order to follow. Not the Illithid's grand design, of course, but the golden reign of Gortash. Yes, that has a nice ring to it. Then we shall deal with our naughty absolute brain and its growing propensity to throw petulant psionic tantrums. It's no accident that I chose to place it in a domed cavern beneath the upper city. The location is perfectly formed to concentrate the psychic force of the netherstones. Concentrate it to such a degree that not even our Netherese enhanced brain will be able to resist my commands. Once I control all three netherstones, naturally, and the sooner the better. I've seen that one before. Seen that before as well, I believe. The Astral Prism Heist. Gortash Private Memoir Notes number 16. The Astral Prism Heist. After that dream I had about the Githyanki threat to our accelerated grand design, my research led me to pore through the old archives left behind in Moonrise Towers by the High Heralds. These records included some surprising early sources, both Githyanki and Githzerai. They mentioned a relic or artifact called the Astral Prism or Prism. Though the source of its power was unstated, this artifact was reputed to be able to project a field that disrupted Illithid psionics. As such an artifact would clearly be an existential threat to both our absolute ambitions and the grand design. All three of the ancient sources agreed that the Astral Prism was in the hands of the Githyanki Lich Queen Vlaakith. Thus was born the plan to send a tadpole strike team and a regrown Nautiloid piloted by the Emperor to steal the Astral Prism from Vlaakith. Okay, so I guess we're part of that strike team, right? And in the intro cutscene, that was the Emperor piloting the Nautiloid that we were on. But Shadowheart was sent by the Sharans. I wonder what role they have to play in all this. Memoir notes with recent addenda. Memoirs by Gortash, outline for Chapter 4. I re-established worship of Bane in Baldur's Gate as a hidden cult. I realized the secret worship of Baal is also on the resurgence, and acquaint myself with the local leader and actual Baal spawn. The Baal spawn and I work together on a heist from the House of Wonders, and discovering common goals forge an alliance. So Orin is a Baal spawn. She's not just a Baal list, Baalite. It's Baal list. In dreams, the Baal spawn and I are visited by Baal and Bane. They name us their chosen and command us to seek out and ally with Ketheric Thorm, the chosen of Merkel. Visiting Ketheric at Moonrise Towers, I learned of the Mind Flayer colony in the Underdark below, and conceive a plan to conquer its Elder Brain using the Crown of Karsus. The Baal spawn and I employ a Diabolist's services to gain access to Mephistar and steal the crown. We three chosen use the crown to enslave the colony's Elder Brain, but during that raid, the Baal spawn is betrayed by the Baalist second in command, Orin the Red, who usurps the Baal spawn's power, declares herself Baal's new chosen. Oh, so she's not whoever led it before. Following my master plan, the new trio brainstorms our grand hoax of the Absolute. Note: where to put in the Astral Prism and the adventurers who took it after its theft from Vlaakith, and when to admit considering taking them as my new allies. The ultimate state. What is progress? Progress is the movement of society and culture towards a state of collective unity. Without unity, mortals, each with their own individual agenda, blunder against each other, causing friction, conflict, war. Unity, peace, and prosperity is achieved when the collective follows a single agenda, that of one superior person. Runaway egocentrism, that urge often miscalled free will, is the one true enemy of unity. Free will must be eliminated. Control of the brain is key. The Netherese tadpole is the perfect tool. Tadpoled, the brain is freed of egocentrism to follow the agenda of unity. The tadpoled brain is a happy brain. There is no conflict, except against the enemies of unity. And the brain is all you need. Once freed from its agendas of free will, it can also be freed of the frailties of the mortal form. The brain can live forever in a steel body, or even better, control that body from afar. This is progress. This is the ultimate state. Lord Enver Gortash. Servitor of the Black Hand Gloves grants Enervating Suffusion. Your unarmed attacks do an additional 1-4 force damage, and he grants Fear. Covetous of Mistress Command of the Weave, Bane the Black Hand extends his grasp. Each finger comprised of 10,000 fanatics, adjuncts of his evil will. Ooh, 25. Might need a Starion for that. And the trickery domain would be so much better to gain access to knock. Nice. High security vault number 5 key. A strong grip that has clasped this key close many a time has lightly rusted its silver plating. Shield steward interrogation log, scroll or letter. Transcript of key passage and the interrogation of Flovis Nuge, steward of the Knights of the Shield Hall. Black Hand. When did you begin to suspect that Duke Stelmane was not herself? Nuge. I cleared her dinner dishes after a meal of mutton pie. When I got the dish up to the kitchen, the mutton was... brains. Black Hand. Brains. Nuge. And not sheep brains neither, so I started poking around. Black Hand. In the Elfsong cellar. Should only be rats down there. Nuge. In the Knight's secret chambers, yes. And I found a cell with a body in it. A corpse in city prison stripes. Black Hand. A dead state prisoner. Nuge. If I tell you about this, you're gonna let me go, right? Black Hand. Right. Nuge. It was a condemned criminal with the top of their head shattered and the brain mostly gone. Black Hand. In Stelmane's rooms. Nuge. The secret part, yes. That's where she found me. Black Hand. She what? Nuge. Found me. It found me. At first I thought she was blue and floating, but then it was just Stelmane. She smiled. I don't remember anything after that. That's referring to,
Have to keep going.
our buddy the Emperor, his relationship with Stelmane. Close. I'm not going to waste my last inspiration. We'll pick it up and send it to camp. This might be new. A lower city and upper city. A guidebook written to assist newcomers in grasping the separation of the upper and lower parts of the city of Baldur's Gate. It describes the upper section as the home of the patriarchs, who are the city's nobility caste. It is well patrolled, and its immense wealth shows itself through wide, well-lit streets shining proudly on buildings of elaborate and elegant decoration. By contrast, the lower section of the city is a tangle of narrow streets, compact buildings patrolled not by many guards, but a cornucopia of merchants, craftspeople, chancers, dancers, fools, fabulous vagabonds, cut purses, young men and women of negotiable affection, barkeeps, beggars, knights, and knaves. Seen that before.
Another step forward.
Vulnerable patriarchs. Lord Gortash. Obedience before all. Based on their levels of influence, cross-index with vulnerability to various forms of pressure, bribery, blackmail, direct threats. The following are the top 8 peers in Parliament to target in the next 10 days. 1. Duke Dillard Porter. 2. Lord Raylan Janeth. 3. Lady Ruth Linacker. 4. Lady Madeline Whitburn. 5. Lord Her Rillan. 6. Lady Harrel Vanthamper. 7. Lady Silifrey Sashenstar. 8. Lord Sarkin Eamane. With utmost respect, the Black Hand of Loyalty. I've seen the invasion plans for Baldur's Gate already. Next steps. Gortash Private Memoir Notes number 17. Pacifying the City. From the standpoint of control of the masses, the Outer Brain's rate of tadpole vivipary is disappointing. There will never be enough larvae to tadpole all the citizens of Baldur's Gate, or even the majority. The alternative approach to pacifying the city is two-pronged. First, we take control of the municipal executive functions from the top down by leveraging fear of the absolute to get me appointed Baldur's Gate Archduke. Second, we deploy a program of selective tadpoling of key individuals as larvae become available, so all the city's power centers are effectively under my control. Assuming the success of this scheme, we should be able to spare a nursery or 2 of tadpoles to begin the same process in Amn. I must interview my southern agents to determine who will be best to execute this plan. Knights of the Shield report. Attempts to displace the Knights of the Shield from their smuggling and contraband networks have been more difficult than anticipated, and we face a shortfall in reaching our target quota and wresting key clients from the Knights. Our assumption that we could pry business away from the Knights by simply offering their clients a better percentage has proven naive, with fences and customs runners routinely choosing loyalty to the Knights over profit. Negotiations with prospective clients have proven so difficult that we now believe the Knights exert some sort of influence over their partners beyond the profit motive. The indications are that this influence is psychic rather than magical, but further investigation is required. With utmost respect, the Black Hand of Loyalty. So how much influence did the Emperor have in Baldur's Gate before? Because Gortash keeps running across them and the Knights of the Shield that he controlled. The Stelmane connection. As previously reported, the position of the Knights of the Shield as the leading smuggling syndicate in Baldur's Gate is strong. Anomalously so. Generous bribery of key operatives has elicited the information that the Knights are working hand in glove with a member of the Council of Four, Duke Bellin Stelmane. Though Stelmane shows evidence of increasing debility due to some sort of wasting disease, her influence over transfer of contraband and the gate has only grown as her physical abilities have declined. Solving this enigma should give us the key to bringing down the Knights. Investigations continue. With utmost respect, the Black Hand of Loyalty. I've seen that before as well. Studies of the Elder Brains. A report for Lord Gortash by Scribe Yanthus. An illithid Elder Brain is many things. Absolute ruler of its Mind Flayer colony. Fount of procreation through its production of illithid larvae, the so-called tadpoles. But most of all, an Elder Brain is a supremely powerful organic calculator. A mental machine able to process a vast number of simultaneous thought processes. It is always 100 moves ahead. It cannot be surprised except by a sudden confluence of unexpected variables. Mortal genius and innovation are no match for its sheer computational power. Below this, a note is appended in Gortash's precise handwriting. No weakness but the unexpected. It seems I shall need unexpected allies. Baldur's Gate Temple of Baal. A report for Lord Gortash by Scribe Yanthus. Your humble servant must report a failure in his assigned task of determining the location of the Baal Temple. Its location is known in a general sense. It's in the haunted, tumble-down subterranean complex usually called the Undercity Ruins. But though these ruins are said to be accessible from Baldur's Gate's sprawling sewer system, accounts differ on the location of this access point. Even if one could find a way into the ruins, they're extensive, and the temple's location within them is no longer certain. The temple was last active during the time of the Baalist leader Saravok, over a century ago, and is said to have fallen into disuse after his passing. I shall report to the disciplinarian to expiate my failure. Schematic Compendium. This portfolio notebook is stuffed with page after page of diagrams and schematics, recognizable as Gondian designs for magically enhanced mechanisms, but amended and expanded by notes in Gortash's precise handwriting, with emendations such as infernal hellfire power sources, illithid synapse cable wiring, and even Githyanki image projection hexnology. Particularly striking is a diagram of a giant steel watcher variant, with a note in Gortash's hand reading, "Wait, insupportable. Cut the mess." So how do we get up top? If we're over here, we could see scaffolding right there. I thought there was a ladder towards the front. Oh, maybe this rope. Where does that take us? So we can't climb it.
Need to act fast.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Nice.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Don't think they have enough daggers. Murderous Cut. Grants Prey Upon the Weak. This weapon deals an additional 1 to 4 piercing damage against targets with 50% of their hit points or fewer. It's a +1. Odd to think that dark gods like Baal were once mortal. One wonders if they ever thumbed a wagon ride, thought about the weather, or ate flavored yogurt. Oh, so Flash Blinder. So blind a target. If it is a Steel Watcher or Scrying Eye, it is stunned. It suffers a minus 1d6 penalty to attack rolls. Gyroscopic whispers emanate from the device. Gnomish machinery speaks with a metal tongue. Assassin's instructions. You know what to do. Let the Lordling thank your friend... let the Lordling thank you, friend, follower, ally. Let him know no peace. Trust no fawning face that gazes upon him. You are sent to harrow his halls and stalk his shadow, till the chance arises to spike him where he stands. If caught, let him know we are coming. Let him know Orin is coming. The letter bears no signature, only a vicious smear of dark red.
Be wary. This place is trapped.
Don't say.
The corpse has nothing to say.
Fair enough. A shortcut back. Alright, Wyrm's Rock Security Audit. This is a report for Lord Gortash about Flaming Fist security at Wyrm's Rock Fortress. But the author of the report, the Black Can of Loyalty, can find few real problems in the Fist protocols and practices. They nonetheless seem to enjoy taking pot shots at the Fortress Commander, Blaze Ellen, of which the following is a typical example. Despite the conspicuous lack of readiness of the Roof Ballista teams, Blaze Ellen prefers to spend much of her day personally reviewing admissions at the South Drawbridge checkpoint, rather than attending to the more tedious tasks of Flaming Fist administration.
I spy with my little eye. Yeah. Nothing of note, really.
Alright, I think we've seen this before, right? It reads familiar. And this year, 950 DR, there can hardly be a more prosperous and fortunate town than Phandalin. Phandelver's Pact has brought prosperity to this land, splitting the wonders of Wave Echo Cave between gnomes and dwarves. The town now boasts thriving communities of both peoples, living and working together in harmony. We've also tempted human weavers from all across the north to our town. We're happy to work side by side with the allies of Phandelver's Pact. Mayor Alderleaf invites you to come and witness this miracle yourself. See the powers being uncovered in the Forge of Spells, the prosperity this power brings. I dare say Neverwinter will soon have a new rival for the title of Jewel of the North. Yeah, we've definitely seen that before. Tales of the Hells. Yeah, we've seen this one before as well. So we've seen missives of Candlekeep before, but Gondian Research Report looks new. Here you pass your eyes over a Gondian report concerning the Shadow Curse. Landmarks are sketched quite expertly, with special attention paid to areas where the curse hangs thickest. Of interest, the report ends with a recommendation for someone called the High Artificer. That recommendation reads thusly. It is a geography unsalvageable High Artificer. The curse's ambiguity makes it inscrutable as well as deadly. It is a shared belief amongst our party that this area be designated as imperative to avoid on Gondian maps, and for all further expeditions to be summarily halted, discontinued, and not reconsidered thereafter. Elistray, Lady Silverhair. So the Drow typically worship Lolth, who is not a benevolent deity by any means. But others worship Elistray, who is Lolth's daughter, I think. Don't quote me on that part, though. Sparing no detail, no matter how innocuous, this tale grants the reader comprehensive insight into the life, death, and rebirth of the child of Lolth and Coraline Larethian, the goddess Elistray. One section runs thusly. Well, I was right. It is her child. An important note, immortals like Elistray view relationships differently than we do. The gaze is cold, abstracted, even in the most passionate and vivacious of gods such as she. Think of Telemon's Theater of Distance. The viewer is somehow allowed space from the action of the play, while still being immersed in the experience. That is how deities think. That is how they view everything. In an auditorium of icy long infinity, and the nosebleed seats. No wonder Elistray smiled and wept with equal fierceness when she defeated her mother. Well, I think we're set up nicely for next time to go down to the audience hall, which I'm assuming this will take us to. And there we should come across
No, never mind.
Lord Enver Gortash and hopefully Duke Ravengard. We'll see how that goes. Might be worth taking some elixirs, because if they're hostile like the Flaming Fists on the first floor are, we'll probably be in for quite the fight. In fact, let's go ahead and do it just to be safe. Alright, I think we're nice and set up for any upcoming confrontation.
Let's be on my way.
We'll see how it goes. But wasn't this... Oh, that's right, the doors bug out. So we'll head down next time and see what happens. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.